There are ghosts that terrify us because of what they do. And then there are ghosts that terrify us because of what happened to them. Tonight's story is one of sorrow, loss, and a grief so profound that some believe it survived death itself. For more than 200 years, people have spoken of a mysterious woman dressed entirely in black, a silent figure seen wandering the streets of London after dark, appearing near the Bank of England, walking alone through the shadows, the vanishing without a trace. She became known as the Black Nun. But unlike many ghost stories, this legend begins with a real person, a woman whose life was shattered by tragedy, a woman who spent years searching for someone she could never bring back. And according to those who believe the legend, she may still be searching today. So dim the lights, get comfortable, and join me as we uncover the chilling tale of Sarah Whitehead, the woman who became known as the Black Nun of London. London is a city built upon centuries of history, a city of kings and queens, of triumphs and tragedies, of secrets buried beneath ancient streets. And among the countless ghost stories whispered through London's dark corners, few are as haunting or as heartbreaking as the legend of the Black Nun. Unlike many ghosts said to wander Britain's old buildings and forgotten graveyards, the Black Nun was once a real woman. A woman whose grief became so overwhelming that some believe it followed her beyond the grave. Her name was Sarah Whitehead, and for more than 200 years, people have claimed to see her spirit wandering the streets around about the Bank of England, dressed entirely in black, silent, alone, searching for the brother she lost. Tonight we explore one of London's most enduring ghost stories, a tale of loss, obsession, and a spirit they may never have found peace. To understand this story, we must first travel back to London in the early 19th century. It was a city very different from the one we know today. The streets were crowded, smoke filled the air, crime was very common, and punishment was often brutal. In those days, hundreds of crimes could lead to execution. Even offenses that seem relatively minor today. One of those crimes was forgery, the creation or alteration of financial documents. It was considered a direct threat to the stability of the nation, and the punishment was severe: death. Public executions were so common. Thousands would gather to watch. Some came out of curiosity. Others came out of fear. And some because they had no choice but to witness the terrible consequences of the law. It was in this world that Sarah Whitehead lived, and it was in this world that tragedy would struck her family. Sarah was deeply devoted to her brother Philip Whitehead. Historical records confirm that Philip was convicted of forgery. In 1811, he was sentenced to death. For Sarah, the news was devastating. Her beloved brother was condemned. And what's worse, there was absolutely nothing she could do to save him. As execution day approached, hope faded. Appeals failed. and mercy never came. Eventually, Philip Whitehead was executed. His life ended. But for Sarah, the nightmare was only beginning. Many accounts describe her as being unable to accept what had happened. The grief consumed her. The loss shattered her world. And according to the legend, part of her remained trapped in that moment forever. After her brother's death, Sarah changed dramatically. She began wearing black mourning clothes every single day, not for weeks, not for months, but for the rest of her life. Friends watched her withdraw from society. The vibrant woman they once knew seemed to disappear. In her place remained a grieving sister, unable to move forward. And then came the behavior that would make her famous. Day after day, year after year, Sarah reportedly walked to the Bank of England. She believed there must have been some mistake. Surely someone would bring good news. Surely someone would tell her that Philip had been spared. Surely someone would explain that the execution had just never happened. Each day she arrived with hope. Each day she left disappointed. Yet she returned again the next day, and the next, and the next. Employees began recognizing her. Londoners grew familiar with the lonely black-dressed woman, always asking, always waiting, always hoping. As the years passed, Sarah became something of a local legend, a tragic figure wandering the streets of London, trapped by grief. Some say she visited the bank for decades, unable to let go, unable to accept reality, and unable to just stop searching. Eventually, Sarah Whitehead died. Many stories would end there. This one does not, because according to local legend, sightings began not long after her death. People reported seeing a woman dressed entirely in black near the Bank of England. She appeared suddenly, often at dusk, sometimes late at night. Witnesses described her moving silently through the streets. Her head bowed, her expression distant, as though she were unaware of the world around her. And then, without warning, she would just disappear. No sound, no explanation, no trace. The sightings became so frequent that people gave her a name, the Black Nun. Not because she was a nun, but because her long black mourning clothes resembled a religious habit. The name remained, and so did the stories. As London grew and changed, the legend survived. When Bank Station was built near the area associated with Sarah's story, news reports emerged. Workers claimed to see strange figures late at night. Security staff spoke of unexplained sightings. A woman in black walking along empty pathways. A figure disappearing around corners. Footsteps with no visible source. Most of these stories can never be verified, but that has done little to stop the legend from spreading. Even today, guides leading ghost walks through London often tell visitors about the Black Nun. And every few years, another sighting surfaces, another witness, another unexplained encounter, another story added to the legend. Perhaps the most fascinating thing about the Black Nun is that she is not described as evil. She does not attack people. She does not scream in the darkness. she does not seek revenge. Instead, she simply wanders, alone, searching, waiting, and perhaps that is what makes her so unsettling. Because beneath the ghost story lies something deeply human. Grief. The refusal to let go. The desperate hope that somehow the past can be changed. Many paranormal researchers believe locations can retain emotional energy. That intense feelings leave an imprint upon a place. If that is true, few emotions are more powerful than the grief of a sister who lost her brother. Even now, more than 2 centuries later, the legend refuses to disappear. Visitors still speak of strange encounters, shadowy figures, unexplained sensations. A woman dressed in black standing silently before vanishing into the night. Perhaps these sightings are simply stories passed from one generation to the next. Perhaps they are tricks of the mind. Or perhaps, on certain nights, Sarah Whitehead still walks the streets she knew so well. Still searching, still hoping, still waiting for news that will never come. If you ever find yourself near the Bank of England after dark, and you catch sight of a lone woman dressed entirely in black, walking slowly through the shadows, do not be surprised if she ignores you. According to the legend, she isn't looking for you. She's still looking for her brother. And somewhere in the darkness of London, the Black Nun continues her endless search. Good night and sleep well, because some ghosts haunt us with terror, and others haunt us with sadness.
Still